It was unusually cold for spring in London. A thin mist hovered near the iron gates of Buckingham Palace as the ceremonial change neared. Sergeant Ellis Ward, 38, stood motionless in his post. 10 years in the uniform, 2 deployments abroad, 0 disciplinary strikes. He was what they called unshakable. But lately, something inside him had begun to change. A slow, quiet erosion. A tour group approached, mostly quiet, respectful. But at the edge of the pack, a man in a yellow hoodie and baseball cap stood out. He wasn't laughing like the others. He was watching. He whispered something to a woman beside him, grinning. She looked uncomfortable. "Don't," she said. But he already had his phone out. The man in the hoodie began his routine, talking loudly, narrating as if streaming, though no one could see him live. He leaned in too close to Ward, snapped a finger near his face, mocked the stillness. "Yo, what's the matter, soldier boy? Can't move without permission?" People nearby began glancing nervously. No one intervened. The guards didn't move. Not yet. The man pulled a plastic toy snake from his pocket. He waved it in front of Ward's face, voice rising. "Thought you'd be used to snakes, huh? All that British diplomacy." He chuckled at his own joke. The snake poked the edge of Ward's chest. That was enough. Ward snapped. Not with rage, with purpose. In one violent motion he stepped forward, rifle at an angle, not to strike, but to clear space. His shoulder collided with the man's chest, sending him stumbling backward. The toy snake flew into the air and landed with a soft thwack. People gasped, not in awe, not in excitement, in fear. The tourist hit the ground hard, eyes wide. No one moved to help him. No one laughed. Ward stood still again, eyes fixed forward. His breathing was heavy, but controlled. Sergeant Ward stood alone in a side room of the barracks, his uniform still perfect, but his posture was not. His right hand trembled slightly, something it hadn't done in years. A junior officer entered silently. "Captain wants you. Now." No eye contact, no tone, just words like cold metal. Captain Ellis sat at his desk, empty save for a report file. He didn't ask Ward to sit. "There was no recording," he began, flipping through pages. "That works in your favor, but not in your conscience." Ward said nothing. Ellis continued, "You didn't strike. You cleared space." Textbook pause. "Still, unnecessary force. Tourists are paper-thin politically." Silence again. Ward finally spoke, softly. "He touched my uniform." Captain Ellis closed the file. "He disrespected it. He humiliated you. I know." Then, "But we don't break before the public, Ellis. We break later, quietly." He looked up. "You'll take leave. Medical. Say nothing. See no one." Ward nodded. His world was crumbling so gently it made no noise. No escort, no ceremony. Just the soft thud of boots along a side path of St. James's Park. A woman feeding birds glanced up, sensing something wrong. Ward passed by like a shadow. He paused near the edge of the pond. His reflection stared back, flawless, but unfamiliar. We drift into Ward's memory. A war zone checkpoint. Younger version of himself, shouting at a man holding a metal pipe. Behind that man, a child holding a snake toy. A sudden movement, a scream, a shot fired, wrong call. He was court-martialed, then reassigned to ceremonial duty, to stillness, to forgetting. Back in the present, Ward finally understands. It wasn't the snake. It was the memory of what it cost me last time, when I didn't move fast enough. He closes his eyes. The tourist wasn't just annoying, he was a ghost, a warning. And Ward answered it with instinct. Not violence, but not peace either. Sergeant Ward sat alone on a bench in Hampstead Heath. Not in uniform, no rifle, just a man in a coat, watching pigeons hop through late spring grass. Around him, normal life ticked on. Joggers, dog walkers, a child laughing in the distance. The sound of laughter grew closer. A boy, maybe 7, ran across the grass holding a toy snake. Ward flinched, just slightly. But the child wasn't mocking. He stumbled, fell, then looked up at Ward with wide, embarrassed eyes. "Sorry, mister." Ward stared at him. The child wasn't him. Wasn't that child from the checkpoint? But it didn't matter. He helped the boy up. "You okay?" he asked. Voice hoarse. "Yeah. Want to see the snake? It's fake." The boy held it out. Ward nodded. "I know. I've seen one before." From behind them, the boy's mother approached. It was the same woman from the palace crowd that day. She recognized him immediately. Her eyes widened, but not with fear, with understanding. "You were the guard that day." He didn't answer. He was scared, the tourist. But he deserved to be. Pause. "Thank you for not hitting him." Ward didn't respond. He simply nodded. Not in pride, not in defense, just in tired acknowledgement. A formal notice went up in a quiet hall inside the palace. "The guard remains on medical leave. No statement will be issued. The matter is closed." But among those who served with him, a silent shift occurred. They watched each other closer, stood not just for tourists, but for each other. Months later, a new guard takes up post beside the gates. Still, sharp, untouchable. But in the distance, on the edge of the crowd, Sergeant Ward, civilian coat, hands in pockets, watching. Not out of longing, not out of regret, just as someone who knows what it feels like to stand completely still, but never be at rest. He turns, walks away. And this time, there's no storm following him.